Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the TTV News with some last events in our province, and now we come into details. Ladies and gentlemen, in the morning of April the 14th, under the authorization of the Ministry of National Defense, the Border Command of TayNinhTV Province held a ceremony to announce and hand over the decision of the Ministry of National Defense on the establishment of a border guard station at the TayNinhTV International Border Gate and the border guard checkpoint of TayNinhTV International Border Gate based on the reorganization of the station at Tân Bình Commune. The TayNinhTV International Border Gate, located in Tân Bình District, Tân Bình Commune, is opposite to Menchai Border Gate in Cambodia's Previang Province. In 2017, the Prime Minister approved a proposal to upgrade it from auxiliary border gate into an international one. After nearly 5 years of preparation, on May the 31st of 2021, the TayNinhTV Menchai International Border Gate pair officially came into operation. And recently, TayNinhTV Province has also spent a lot of resources invested in infrastructure and facilities to make TayNinhTV International Border Gate operate as an international border gate. The reorganization and upgrading into TayNinhTV International Border Gate border guard station is considered necessary in line with the characteristics of the situation and the socio-economic development needs of the two localities of TayNinhTV and Previang in particular, and the two countries of Vietnam and Cambodia in general in the current period. Vice Chairman of Provincial People's Committee Yu Văn Thắng said that the operation of the TayNinhTV International Border Gate marked a new period of cooperation and socio-economic development between TayNinhTV and Previang provinces, particularly regarding their trade and tourism exchange, highlighting TayNinhTV's significant investment earmarked for TayNinhTV's infrastructure and facilities. Mr. Thắng with leaders of Previang will continue prioritizing investment in this border gate to make the best use of the pair border gates for the two countries' economic cooperation and development. At the ceremony, the Party Committee of Provincial Border Guard Command also announced the decision to establish the Grassroots Party Committee of the TayNinhTV International Border Gate Border Guard Station on the basis of operating from the Tân Bình Border Guard Station Party Committee branch under the control of the Party Committee of the Provincial Border Guard. At the same time, appointing the Party Executive Committee consisting of 7 composed Lieutenant Colonel Lieutenant politicians of the TayNinhTV International Border Gate Border Guard Station as the Secretary of the Party Committee.
In the morning of April 14, the supervisory team of the Standing Committee of the Provincial People's Council, led by Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, worked with the People's Committee of Tân Bình District on the implementation and supervision of site clearance for public investment projects in the district in the period 2018-2021. According to the report, the biggest difficulty of Tân Bình District is in the stage of compensation, which leads to slow site clearance and very high rise of land transfer transactions. Meanwhile, the results of the survey show that the compensation price varies differently because most of the households when transferring the land value in the contract was very low. As a result, many complaints and suggestions arise. Tân Bình District also has difficulty in obtaining opinions from some households whose agricultural land has been recovered. Despite many difficulties, Tân Bình District has done a very good job of forming and propagating to the people, definitely answering questions and recommendations of each project. The project mobilized resources to well repair the residential land fund for resettlement, ensure the resettlement arrangement, and the funding source for the implementation of the policy according to the approved plan. Ms. Nguyễn Đại Thi, Vice Chairwoman of the Provincial People's Council, requested the People's Committee of Tân Bình District to analyze and clarify the difficulties and obstacles in the current site clearance work, and at the same time have recommendations and solutions for the province to remove difficulties and speed up the implementation of projects.
Recently, Deputy Prime Minister Lê Minh Khái has signed a resolution number 54 promulgating the government action plan to implement the National Assembly resolution on the economic restructuring plan. And now we come into the news. The overall goal is to enhance the productivity, competitiveness, and resilience of the Vietnamese economy. The resolution also sets out specific targets to achieve an average labor productivity growth rate of over 6% 8.5% annually. The labor productivity growth rate of the key economic region and the 5 big cities is higher than the national average labor productivity growth rate. Specifically, Vietnam aims to raise the contribution of technology and innovation towards economic growth with a total factor productivity TFP at 45% of GDP, and by 2025, the gap in national competitiveness between Vietnam and ASEAN 4 countries will be narrowed, especially in the criteria of institution, infrastructure, and human resources. Under the plan, Vietnam also aims to have about 1.5 million enterprises, with about 60,000 to 70,000 being medium and large-sized businesses, while the private sector will contribute to about 55% of GDP. And in order to realize such targets, the plan outlines a number of key measures, including focusing on fulfilling the goals of restructuring public investments, state budgets, and the system of credit institutions. The government will also seek to enhance the effectiveness in the allocation and the use of resources, promote links between business in different sectors, boost regional connectivity, and foster the role of key cities and economic regions.
On April 14, the Ninh Provincial Social Insurance Agency coordinated with the Provincial Post Office to organize a launching ceremony to mobilize people to participate in voluntary social insurance. Right after the launching ceremony, the officials, employees of the Ninh Provincial Social Insurance Agency and the Provincial Post Office held mobile propaganda on the main roads of the Ninh City. The mobile propaganda team also arranged stops at markets, residential areas, etc. to meet, distribute propaganda materials, advise on voluntary social insurance policies, and campaign directly people to participate. In 2022, Vietnam Social Insurance assigned the target for TayNinhTV Social Insurance to develop more than 22,800 people participating in voluntary social insurance. Propagating people to participate in voluntary social insurance is one of the practical activities to accomplish the assigned goal of Vietnam Insurance. The Ninh Provincial Social Insurance Agency also set a goal right on the first days of launching. It will mobilize 380 people to participate in voluntary social insurance.
And ladies and gentlemen, trade and service activities in March have been gradually restored. The commodity market is stable, retail points distribution system and restaurants have reopened throughout the system. Traditionally, establishments selling both in person and online have resulted in an increase in the total retail sales of goods. And now we come into the news of trade and service come into operation. According to the Department of Domestic Market, the total retail sales of goods in March of 2022 reached about 438,000 billion Vietnam dong, up to 2.9% over the previous month and up to 9.4% over the same period. Generally, in the first quarter of 2022, the total retail sales of goods and services reached to 1,218,000 billion Vietnam dong and up to 4.4% if including the price factors, and increased to 1.6% over the same period. Although the goods are abundant, the people's purchasing power is still weak. People's consumption of goods mainly focuses on essential goods such as food, necessary foods, education, and means of transportation, up to 5.4% to 11%, while the group of garment and household appliance, tool and equipment only raised from 3.6% to 4.9%. In the coming time, the Ministry of Industry and Trade will continue to monitoring developments in supply and demand, prices of essential goods to take timely regulation measures, coordinate with ministry and sector in the price control to control the prices of import goods, check and control to prevent the hoarding, speculation, and price manipulation activities. And ladies and gentlemen, the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has affected the production, circulation, and supply of agricultural products. However, cooperatives that have built a brand name and apply information technology are not disrupted the supply chain and continue to maintain and promote product quality. At the same time, thanks to the application of information technology, cooperatives have saved many kinds of costs during the crisis. the business and service activities of collective economic organizations, especially cooperatives in the agricultural field, has basically met the production requirements of the member household. Cooperatives have boldly invested in equipment, greenhouse and advanced burn system to improve the productivity and product quality, gradually expand production and business, and increase the income for the cooperatives member. At the same time, participating in and building a closed value chain from production, processing, circulation, and distribution, building effective production and business models. Many cooperatives participate in value chain linkages, ensuring that agricultural products have a stable consumption market, applying VITGAP, organic production standards, trademark registration, and collective trademark. However, due to small-scale agricultural production, unstable prices of output products, impacts of natural disasters and the pandemic, and low efficiency of cooperatives and members' economies, the number of cooperatives is limited in expanding links with organizations and individuals to invest in production, processing, and consumption of agricultural products and goods, while the income of members and regular employees is limited in the agricultural sector is still low. In the post-COVID period, with production recovery, digital transformation will be an effective tool to serve the farmers and small and medium-sized enterprises, helping cooperatives to do business better and more sustainably according to the trend of the times. According to the Department of Economic Cooperation and Rural Development, under the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development, as well as the businesses, the application of technology, especially information technology and communication technology in businesses, is a trend that cooperatives cannot stand aside and need to take advantage to seize opportunities. That is also an important need and requirement for the development of digital transformation in the agricultural sector, especially in the collective economic sector, including agricultural cooperatives. In recent years, with the goal of developing the collective economy, developing dynamic and effective cooperatives contributing to creating the jobs, increasing incomes, eradicating hunger and reducing poverty, building new rural areas, and ensuring security for the social welfare, the government has issued guidelines and policy orientations for the development of collective economy and cooperatives in the period of 2021 to 2030. And in order to create conditions for agricultural cooperatives to accept those guidelines and policies in an effective and authentic way, the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development is preparing to develop a plan to support the typical agricultural cooperative models in the period of 2022 to 2025 to serve as a basis for developing and replicating models of agricultural cooperatives that operate effectively, suitable for each field and region across the country. In addition, in 2022, the Ministry of Information and Communication determines to accelerate the digital transformation in small and medium-sized enterprises through the use of excellent digital platforms selected by the Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises Support Program for Digital Transformation. The program's activities aim to help SME enterprises optimize their operation, improve production and business efficiency, improve their capacity and competitive advantage, create new value for businesses, and contribute to the development of enterprises, development of the national digital economy, and in its industry, field, and region. And in addition, on April 4 of 2022, the Provincial People's Committee of TayNinhTV Province issued a plan number 848 on digital transformation and assurance of network information security in TayNinhTV Province in 2022. Accordingly, the province continued to improve the legal environment of the province on digital transformation, especially the policy to promote the development of digital economy and digital society of the province, develop mechanisms and policies to support digital transformation in enterprises, especially small and medium enterprises, cooperatives, and traditional enterprises in the province. Review, update, and supplement regulations and regulations on information security, the use of digital signatures, solutions to encourage the people and businesses to use online public services at level number 3 and 4. In addition, the province maintains and develops information security activities according to the 4-layer model. At the same time, develop and implement plans and projects to develop digital technology enterprises, promulgate policies to promote digital business and e-commerce, deploy information technology to support businesses and cooperatives.
And ladies and gentlemen, that's all for the TTV News today. Thank you for joining us and see you more next time.